said, dude, Trump off the and the crowd was eating it up. It was probably CPAC he was speaking to because they were definitely a home crowd. Yeah, it's wild with the Trump presidency. Every day it's fucking entertaining, and I'm here for it, man. I eat it up. I can't help but not watch it. I like the press briefings. I like that little chipmunk blonde chick that's in there chewing people up, being mean to people. The Associated Press isn't allowed on Air Force One for like the free plane ride to and from events anymore. They're not allowed in the White House.
They got me with that one.
and they're like begging, and other news people are like, when are you going to let the Associated Press? It's a privilege to go into, just walk into the White House and talk to the president. That's why we're no longer extending to the Associated Press until they can get their verbiage right.
They're replacing them with InfoWars.
They do. No, they put podcasts like they all sorts of like just electronic media type people, online media type people that they're putting in that seat.
Maybe you know better than me, Kyle. The small little media people they invited, do they tend to be like, the Dave Rubins and Tim Pools of the world, or their parallels, or is it well represented? Does the question make sense? Did I ask it right?
It does make sense. The only one that I can remember, I don't know her name, but she's a very pretty black woman who's conservative.
It's not Candace, is it?
She has curly hair and she's very pretty, and she's light-skinned and she smiles a lot. Not Candace Owens, no.
Okay, she's pretty, but
no, this chick's way prettier than Candace Owens. Candace Owens looks like a strict teacher. This chick looks like like she could bake.
Yeah,
some cookies.
She does. Like she's
Oh,
for some
Candace
discipline, right?
There is no world in which Candace Owens does not tie her white ass husband up and do some like bleached play or something weird with him. Like there's a whole.
You think it's her tying him up, or do you think she's making him tie her up?
Well, see, she's conservative, so I would imagine that she likes to like put the white man in his place behind the scenes, because in public it's kind of, she's often co-signing conservative viewpoints, but in private she's like, "That's right, cracker. That's right, cracker. Chew my crusty heel." Yes, mistress. Yes, mistress.
Oh, I don't like that about her.
Yeah.
You hush, Taylor. Kyle, you think she's hairy?
Yes. Oh, the hairiest.
I think
Candace Owens looks like a mean RN, like someone that you went to high school with that's an RN now. That you're like, there shouldn't be one.
I don't know, and I don't follow her.
So my answer would be, it was well represented when I saw them, because the lady I'm referring to is like great. I think she has her own like Fox program or segment or something. She's one of those people. They're really good at like their AAA system at Fox. Like they start people up small and like bring them in people who are interesting and have cool viewpoints, who can operate the microphone, who are good on camera, and they have like that other thing. And then slowly but surely they like, oh, now you get your own segment, now you get your own show, now you run the U.S. military.
I think you're completely clear. You're right. The end was a kicker I wasn't ready for, but you're still right. And I think it's partly because Fox values pretty people, right? Yeah. Whereas like CNN or whatever, they grab some freaking established 48-year-old.
I'm so glad you said that. You listen to 30 minutes of a Trump speech, and there are 5 hilarious moments to me. He was talking about when he flew into Iraq, and I don't know if probably clearly during his first presidency, they went and visited the troops, I think around Christmas, like a surprise trip.
I remember.
And he's like, and he's describing flying in. He's like, we had to turn all the lights off, all the running lights, all the lights inside. We could, and I go up and I sit with the pilots a lot. And I tell you, these guys are right out of Central Casting. These guys are good looking. All right. They look like Tom Cruise, but tough. All right. They look better than Tom Cruise, but bigger and tougher. And even up there, their lights are turned down really dim. And I'm thinking, $1 trillion we spend in this country, and we got to fly in with the lights turned off. And I say, guys, are we okay? He's like, yes, sir. We're fine, Mr. President. And I believed him. And I'm like, I love when he talks, and he went on about this for like ever, like breaking it down like this. About he was like, and I told him, you think
he
I
loves
give
to
myself?
riff.
You think I'd give myself the Congressional Medal of Honor for that harrowing landing? and he's like,
not even freedom. He's going to take the military one.
yeah. Because he made that military landing in a hostile country. He's like, I got to be careful though. Next week, the lying news media, and this is like today. He's saying this. The lying Fox, CNN will say President Trump wanted to give himself the Congressional Medal of Honor. Like democracy has fallen. And the crowd all laughs, and I'm like, he's won. He's won so hard. I hope he doesn't try to do a third term. Or
I want to see them do more actual, like you talked about, like, I'm sure it's funny. I don't watch as much of the briefings and stuff as you by a long shot, but like so much of it, like I'm sick of the bluster and the bloviating and like we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like the deportation levels are so fucking low. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Like that was something that they got elected on. And now it seems like it's taken a backseat to a bunch of other things that are less impactful to Americans. And so like the whole, like, and there's too many like grifter class people out there, like who just are high on like the owning the libs portion of it, where it's like, oh, it upsets the libs so much. And it's like, fine, if you want to laugh at that.
Oh, he made email signatures, remove pronouns. We got them. Yeah,
just stuff that's like, okay. And meanwhile, what 410 people got deported today? Like we have tens of millions of people here illegally living off of our economy, our system, sending tens of billions annually back in remittances. Dude, it's they said 11 million illegals in 2004.
Trump said between
and in
2011 and 20 million. But Trump said that, so I don't know like what the real number is, but that's what Trump said. Taylor, that's how I feel, but it's not the illegal one. It's Doge. Like, oh, did you find 28 million in spending across 9 years? We're supposed to find real fucking cuts. I know 28 million sounds like a lot, but when you're looking for trillions, is my ratio right? If I said I wanted $2,000 and they found 28 cents over 9 years, did I do that right? Is that on target?
Yeah, it's not significant. And like they need to, like, what they should have just done is like, instead of milking the USAID thing for all the like gotcha moments of like, oh, did you know? Which I know they did it because it optically frames it as ridiculous.
It's a factor of 1,000. It's three. You add 3 more zeros.
They need to get to the big bucks as far as savings goes, which like just acts 98% of the USAID thing. Seems like it was just like weird nonsense in the first place that doesn't meaningfully benefit Americans. Seems like it's this quote soft power shit where you fund underwater basket weaving in Nigeria and it's really just being backfed into some NGO and the owners. Like, no, let's just get rid of all that. We'll refund stuff that's actually like worthwhile. We'll figure it out. But then let's move on to like the IRS and the ATF and the FBI and the CIA and the Pentagon and all of these institutions, the military, all of the welfare programs that are being taken advantage of. Like those are the big spenders.
Look, they're doing all those things, military. and I know that they're not getting their deportations per day. I think are frustrating for the administration as well because they put a lot of money into it. They've hired a lot of people.
Really not enough.
I don't think that's the issue. I don't know if they've got a bottleneck or what's going on. Clearly, they can find the people if they want to find them. That camp in Gitmo is fascinating to me. Mm-hmm. I'm so interested in what's the criteria for who gets sent there. Like who gets sent to Gitmo, right? Like could it be a criminal from Mexico who I don't know, hit and run? Like, does that guy get sent there? Because you don't hit and run sucks, but I don't think you get sent to Gitmo for hit and run, even if you are Mexican. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why we should be paying to put any of these people in prison. Like, because Taylor, if someone commits a murder and they're a Honduran national and they kill someone in Oklahoma, like now we have to pay for their imprisonment forever. No, this isn't like this is like releasing animals.
The question around that, Taylor, is always if we don't punish them, what stops them from coming here for their murdercations?
We force Honduras to like this isn't like we're releasing animals back in the wild. Like we're taking them to Honduras and then Honduras officials, their cops take them and lock them up there. And then they foot the bill for it.
But we don't know what their justice system is like. How can they punish someone for something that was done in our country? If they break our laws, they have to face our justice system. That's the way it works.
All the countries in South America have extradition with the U.S. And so like they clearly would acknowledge like a
irrelevant.
murder. You know?
That's irrelevant.
That's
no.
not what extradition is for.
No, but I'm
right?
saying they have similar laws insofar as someone who commits a violent crime here, you can't do that there either.
But that's not applicable in this scenario in which they've committed a crime in the United States, a United States crime, and they go back to Honduras to serve their time. It's just not how it works. And if it did, we couldn't trust Honduras to properly punish them. What we do is we punish them here. I remember when I was getting sentenced that day, there was a guy who was an illegal Mexican who had come in and he had driven a truck full of methamphetamine, liquid methamphetamine, to Atlanta. And he was in this huge rap. Everybody ratted on him. And he was getting like 30 fucking years or something like that here. And they let him know. And after you're done with your 30 years, then you'll be deported back to Mexico.
Why do we pay for him to be here for 30 years? Like,
because he broke an American law. We have to punish him. We can't turn him loose.
I hear Taylor's thought, like, why don't we just save money by letting them punish their people?
It's how it works in every country, everywhere. Like if you break a French law, you can't come serve your time in the United States. You know what I mean? Like you just can't choose what.
We can.
They didn't deport Brittany Grimes when she had pot in Russia, right? She was in a Russian gulag or whatever.
Yeah, she broke a Russian law, so she faces the Russian justice system. That's just how it has to work.
My fear is that Honduras would be like, well, Americans aren't real people, so we're going to pretend to put them in jail, and then 6 weeks later they get out.
Now, on the other side of that coin, we have this other group of people who have committed horrific crimes in their home countries, and they are here. They are wanted for double, triple murder, child pornography in Venezuela, and they're in Texas and they're caught. And we have a choice. Do we send them back to Venezuela and count on them to handle it, or do we send them to Guantanamo? And that's what I want to know about the delineation between the two, how they're siphoning those out, because they are definitely making the decision that people from that Venezuelan gang, Trende, Nagua, whatever it is, something like that. They're sending those people to Guantanamo because they don't believe sending them back to Venezuela is in our best interest. They think they'll end up right back here, the same way that Al-Qaeda gets sent to Guantanamo for the same reason. If we send an Al-Qaeda member back to Saudi Arabia, they'll be like, welcome back, comrade. You know, like, nice fucking job. It's been a long time. Pat him on the back and give him some sort of Khabib-like make it rain party or something. So you've got to house him and punish him here because it won't happen otherwise. But
yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, we need. I think we put him to work is the right solution. We look. Slavery didn't get abolished; it just got altered. Like slavery is perfectly legal as long as the person is incarcerated by the government. That's why we have those private prison systems that make that turn a profit.
I don't like. If I have a license plate making business, then suddenly you get free employees. I'm like, what am I gonna do? This guy's got guys working for 70 cents an hour, and I pay mine $20. I can't compete. You're going to have them pave roads. You're going to have them build homes.
We'll have to tear up the prisons.
There's a program. It's in one of the southern states. It's either Louisiana or Alabama. There's a program where they let these people out of jail to go serving real jail time. They let them out of jail to go work at fast food restaurants and then back in the jail. The restaurant doesn't pay the person. They pay the prison for their employees. So they don't even have to pay minimum wage anymore for the guy taking your order at Burger King. They can get one of the slaves from the local prison.
Oh,
gotta be.
I
Arby's.
assumed they paid the prison market rates.
No, why would they? Don't have to.
No, when you assume.
I think whenever the prisoners go and work elsewhere, they just pay them like
crazy.
cents a day. Like the firefighters or